In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live, guys. We are live again. Wow. Wow. Oakland, you're voting. Oakland, you voted. Oakland, you mailed in your ballots. Tonight, Oakland votes. It's the 15th tax day, Taco Tuesday. This is the moment of truth. The election is over. Now we're just counting the ballots. My name is Jason J. Daniel. If you don't know who I am, now you know, man. Let's do a little sound check here. Really great night, really wild night. I've been, as you know, I've been covering the Oakland election. I've been interviewing the candidates. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Rumble. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's do this little sound check. We're live on Facebook, Rumble. Been interviewing the candidates. We're live on. There I am. Okay, cool. We're just taking it easy, guys. We're not. I will have a special guest. I think that will be able to come on, talk about the results. We have someone embedded at the Alameda County Registrar of Voters. Now we're talking about Oakland, California. I've been interviewing the candidates. It's been crazy. We're live on Facebook, IG. Well, not IG, but you can follow me there. Rumble, YouTube, and X. And it's been quite the journey. We're streaming live right now. I wanted to go on just to talk about the election, go through the results with you, take some time, maybe an hour or so. The polls have been closed for about an hour. If you didn't get a chance, check out my latest interview with Elizabeth Swaney. It's a really great interview. She ran for mayor with the rest of them. Hold on here. A whole lot of really awesome people running for mayor. Just awesome folks. Excuse me, let me get some water. So we went live a little earlier today. As you know, I've been invested in getting the candidates' voices out to you. I wish they could all win. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I don't. Now, if you ask me, and some of you have, and I have declined to comment, no comment. But if you've asked me, who do you want to win versus who do you not want to win, I tend to go with who do I not want to win, right? Spilling a little bit. Maybe this is water, hopefully. I tend to go with who would I rather not win than who am I rooting for? It's hard to interview everyone and root for someone, but it's also hard to interview everyone and not root for people. It's tough. I'll say this, have a little drink tonight. We deserve it. I'll say this. You guys have a really great crop of candidates out there in Oakland. And also some really fantastic activists that are very concerned with what's going on in Oakland and with the corruption and stuff. And I'm not going to make a big deal of that. You guys know what's up with that. But what we'll do is we'll get into the numbers. So here's what I'm hearing. If this is what I'm already seeing, definitely go back and watch all of the candidate interviews, because these are folks that really are working hard to make a difference in Oakland, and they're going to be there, win, lose, or draw. And it sounds like they're all coming together to support each other, which is so cool. I didn't see that coming. Honestly, when this campaign started, it was kind of vicious. But what I saw through this is people being energized to make a difference and encourage others to vote and be energized. And if you weren't following on X, you missed out. There was a whole lot of stuff going on X as far as like, sorry, I'm a little clogged up here. The dirt. There's a lot of dirt on X. A lot of mud raking. If you don't know, or is it muck raking? Am I saying that right? If you don't know what that is, that's actually a political phrase. It's when people just dig up dirt and try to like get involved in the dirty stuff. There's enough dirt in Oakland politics to keep you digging for years, man. In fact, I've been covering elections for a long time. I've talked about my history before, but I've been covering elections for years in California. And I actually was very politically involved as an activist, if you're wondering. And I actually held my own recall election, just like Oakland. I didn't hold it, but that sounds odd. But I started a recall election against two city councilmen, two guys at the same time. Now, um, it was impossible. We lost, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I really worked hard to figure it out. And I really started to develop like a love for it. But I was really motivated for my city. It wasn't Oakland. Sorry, this is we're just keeping it chill tonight. It was Elk Grove, California. I don't live there now, but when I lived there and saw some serious corruption, tried to recall two councilmen. One actually went on to become an assemblyman. He survived the recall and became mayor of Elk Grove, and then became the sheriff of a town of a big city. And the other one went to prison for a real estate fraud. So um, recalls matter, guys. Okay, so let's get into the numbers. Live results. Oh, I have this graphic in the wrong spot. Sorry, guys. Live. It's live streaming. Let me edit that. Okay, so live results. I have someone at the Alameda County voter registrar who's got some live info, and you guys are watching on X. Thank you. Um, but from what I'm seeing, let me go to my X account, and I'll show you what I have retweeted. Let me show you. Let me give you some data here. This should be interesting. We're going to do some screen sharing. Let's see here. Here we go. This should be interesting, right? Look at that. So we have, let me get rid of this bottom banner. So looks like we've got Lauren Taylor winning so far in the count. Now, keep in mind, this is mail-in ballots have already come in. They said that yesterday, as of yesterday, where was it? Yeah, yesterday, I think, the mail-in ballots were like at 18%. Now, that means possibly 20 to 18 more percent ballots could be cast in person. Now, that probably will be lower, but that was an interesting number. So let's look at what we have here. It says that Lauren Taylor is at 49% right now, and Barbara Lee is at 44%. Interesting. Now, they're both Democrats aligned with the left party. In most cases, the areas that are Democrat, more heavily populated, tend to mail in their ballots. So you get the more moderate, maybe conservative voter that will go to the polls. But things have changed. Special elections are very different. Most people are now in California used to voting by mail. I vote. I don't vote by mail, but I get my ballot. Well, sometimes I do, and I will drop it in the box if I can. But most people now are choosing to mail it in. So this doesn't mean that Barbara Lee's out of it. But if I'm Lauren Taylor, or if I was to vote for Lauren Taylor or a Lauren Taylor supporter, I'd be extremely excited about this. That's a really good development. So that's on my feed there. Let's see what else we got going. Again, I'm waiting on somebody who may be able to jump in to give us there's somebody there actually watching the count. So the schedule was 9-ish. Let's see if she'll be able to join us. So the vision for Oakland. Now this race. Oh, now I guess I can give you my official thoughts. I can give you my thoughts on the election, and then we have some guests coming in. So let me talk while I send the link to join the show. What was I surprised with on this election? Oh, here. Well, let's just bring in our special guest. Let's do it. Let's get a report from the voter registrar. We have our special surprise guest jumping on in a momento. I see you at the bottom there. I see you. Okay.
Hi, I'm actually in my car now.
Right on. Everybody, it's Mindy
Hi, everyone.
Pechenuk. Did I get it right?
You got it perfect. Thanks, Jason.
Yes. Yes. Must be the
Yep.
money. All right, I got it right.
Yep.
Okay, so I have a graphic for you. A
Okay.
special guest, you're good to go. Okay, so lay it on us. What did you see? What did you hear? And I got
Well,
to tell you, this is, by the way, one of the largest audiences watching live that I've had all year. You're on the
oh,
spot.
fantastic. Well, it's an exciting election. It's an important one. And this is just the first round of the votes coming in. It's with about 44,000, was it 44,000 of the mail in ballots? They haven't yet counted everything from the drop boxes and the
Oh.
vote centers from today. But
Mm.
with 44 and the in-person voting, so that's still to be tabulated. But from the first round of tabulation, we were at, it's very, Lauren Taylor is ahead by 21,000 something votes, Barbara Lee 19,000 something votes. And I'm hoping, Lauren, we beat Barbara Lee and we don't, excuse me, that we don't get her in as mayor. That would be a very big breakthrough. And then in third place was somebody who actually dropped out of the race and didn't run officially, but his name was still on the ballot. But he's a Barbara Lee backer. And then I'm in fourth place, which is pretty good out of 9 candidates so far.
Yeah. That's great. So that's Tyrone Jordan, right? He's three.
Right, that's Tyron Jordan. He's very anti-Trump. He's attacked me many times on
He
X.
has. Yeah,
Yes,
he's been a bad boy when it comes to you. Is that the best way to put it?
that's a good way to put it. It's an
Yeah, I know. I
accurate
almost said
way.
something stronger, but
No, that's
so
very good.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're being good tonight. So I talked to Elizabeth earlier. Like I said,
great.
we talked, and she's fantastic. Of course,
She
first time I've
is.
ever talked to her, I was just really won over by just how effortless she talks about the things that she does. She does not have an ego, right? And she really
No,
cares.
she does. She's so sweet, and
She
I
really
really like
is.
her.
And you're a really wonderful person. I can say that. And you just a hard worker, right? A hard campaigner. You really care about Oakland. I feel like this is. Do you feel momentum? Do you feel like it's something different? I did not expect to feel this tonight.
Oh, it is. Look, I am so happy, because we really have moved the needle in a major way. And I can see that there's great change and there's such an openness, you know, um, today for example, what I did, which was important because it's ranked choice voting.
Mhm.
I said, tell people, vote for me, number one, vote for Lauren Taylor, number two. Don't vote for Barbara Lee and vote no against Measure A.
Yeah.
And and there was a lot. This was very important because here in Oakland, which is mainly Democratic, you know, that or independents,
Yeah.
to break the ice, to get the open door for Donald Trump and my ideas, I think we accomplished that in this election.
People are
And
listening. They're
yeah,
listening.
they're definitely listening. And in fact, Elizabeth, who you just talked about, she organized, we talked to her and we decided to organize a comedy night. I don't know if
I
she
know
told
she
you about
talked
it.
about it. I was so bummed that I missed it. I was like, oh man, but that next time I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah, it was, and I decided, well, um, I had my Trump garbage T-shirt on and my vest, and I had a big cutout of Donald Trump, and I had my hat on, which said, "Just relax, it's a red hat." And And I said, because I knew the audience was mostly not Trumpers. So I
Yeah.
said, look, I know you're all worried if I got elected mayor that I'd bring Donald Trump to Oakland, but I'm here to relax you. You see my hat? Relax. It's just a red hat. And then I said, but don't worry. You're worried I'm going to bring Donald Trump in. Well, don't worry. I brought him here tonight, and my husband Gerald walked out with a huge cutout of Donald Trump. And
That's
I
like,
said, "Look, he's really very nice. You can come up and talk to him. You can take a picture. He doesn't want any tax on tips, no tax on Social Security." And then I did a sort of a little routine and attacked Barbara Lee and a few things with humor.
now,
I
now
said,
people need to understand Barbara Lee was sitting right there, right?
no, she didn't come. She sent a 2-second video of her
Oh,
saying,
okay. I was
"Well,
under okay. I was under
I
the
was, I used to be a cheerleader. So here's the shortest joke you ever heard." And she waves her pom poms, and that was it.
that was okay. That makes more sense because when Elizabeth mentioned it, she didn't have a ton of time, so it was a faster interview.
Right.
I assumed it was on me. I assumed that she showed up and was cracking jokes, and I was like, "That's wild," but no,
Yeah.
okay,
No, but Lauren did. Lauren
yeah,
did,
yeah.
and that was great. And then I ended because Barbara Lee's theme is we have to have unity and love. So I had a joke. I don't know how good it was, but because she has a big thing about how she's going to collect parking tickets for the revenue of the city and to
Exciting.
improve the budget. So I said, when Barbara Lee's elected, every parking meter is going to have a sign: "Show your love for Oakland. Pay your tickets here. Illegals go free."
Did remember we were talking? My idea was
Yep.
great. It was everybody double park for Barbara. Let's all get a
Right.
bunch of tickets, right? Let's
Right.
if that would solve the problem, everybody go get tickets. Like we have a ticket day. Um,
Yep. Exactly.
I
Yep.
thought that was really an interesting thing that everybody got together and had a comedy night, which that was just part of. I was just like, hey, the vibe is different. Things have changed, and I really was like, man, this could be a huge surprise. So what's crazy is at this point now you're saying they've counted all of them by 9 o'clock. They stopped counting
No,
them
no,
down, or
no.
they're still
The
counting?
just the mail-in ballots that came in for the last 11 days
Okay,
prior to
got
the
it. Now
election.
they're gonna do Gerald. What's up? They're gonna do a every Friday. Now they're not gonna release results until the next Friday, right?
Right after tonight, there will be nothing till next Friday,
Wow.
and then nothing till the Friday. Yeah, nothing to the Friday after. But some of the people that put in a lot of the independent expenditure groups hired a lawyer, and they actually sent a letter to the Board of Supervisors and to the head of the ROV, Tim Dupuy. You better not do anything funny about it. The
What was the
election.
letter? The letter was saying like count them faster. What was the point of the letter?
No, the letter was saying you better release the cast vote records. You
Uh,
better, you know, be. I can't read in the dark, Jim. Um, you know, you better. Let's see here. Uh, Daily release of the cast vote records, full adherence to recount protocols, timely and lawful certification, um, live access to ballot processing status update, hourly election night results. So they're putting a lot of good pressure on them.
wow.
And
Yeah.
this
Oh,
is
I think it's
needed.
preposterous that everybody has to wait a week. I think that's
That,
wild.
and on top of that, they're saying they allow the mail-in ballots to come in for another week if they're post-dated April 15th. So you have
Oh,
another week for all the mail-in ballots to come in.
man, this could take a
It's
long time.
it could take about 3 to 4 weeks, you know. So it's a wild process, but we'll keep everyone updated for sure.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
yeah. And in fact, I'm very excited because I'm sorry, everybody's sending me texts.
No, it's okay. It's me
um,
too. We're getting blown up. It's all good.
yeah,
We're just hanging out. Take your time. By the way, I
yeah,
know you've been working late. You've been doing a lot. You hang up whenever you're ready.
yeah.
I'll hang
I'm
out
going to
too.
head over to another meeting, but so I'll go until I get there.
Okay, cool.
And
Tell Gerald to
in
drive slow.
fact, today it was really great. Politico
I
had
know.
a article on the. You saw that, right?
Yeah, they
Where they.
gave you a little love in Politico, which is so cool, man.
Yep, yep. And then the Washington Examiner picked up the same thing.
Wow, I
And
did
they
not know.
also covered Elizabeth. Yeah.
Well,
So that's what I'm saying. They
Barbara
really
Lee
moved
going
the
down was a big story. if she, because this will be two losses in a row,
Yeah,
and
that's right. She lost the Senate race.
yeah, which is people don't talk about how she's coming off a loss, which that's huge for her
Yes, it is. It is.
because
And
like
if
that
we
should
can
have been
keep this,
automatic for her, you know.
oh yeah, but she has no grassroots support in the city.
Well,
You
talk
know,
about no, okay. So let's talk about if Barbara Lee wins. Tell us how you feel like what would go down.
if she wins, I think that myself and other people who helped run the recall, the supporters of Lauren Taylor, are going to go and actually organize the city, because if we have to, we can, maybe we'll have to recall her, you know, and have another special election.
Barbara's gonna have
So,
a tough time with
but
you.
she's going to have a tough time because the kind of policy she's going to try to implement,
Oakland,
we're going to lead.
Oakland is like the it's like the wild, wild west, man. You guys, but I love it. You guys don't give up, and that's important. Either
Yeah,
side, you know. I mean, that's democracy. We all should disagree, but then we all should get out to vote. That's how it works. Wow.
right.
Okay.
And I'm
So
so happy that we're forming these new alliances, and that Trump is really, I think we're really gaining a lot of support for him in the city.
yeah, talk
People thought
about
it's not
that.
possible.
Yeah, talk about how people respond to you because you wear this out. You wear like you're on the street corners with like a you're talking to the people walking by with like a boom box and stuff. You are not apologetic. You are unapologetic about your support for the president and the agenda and for Oakland. Talk about the response you get when you do that. I saw a clip of that online. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was
actually,
laughing. I was like, "That's right on."
that clip you saw was amazing, because last time I looked this afternoon, I haven't looked tonight at all,
Mhm.
but it had over 2,500 views.
Yeah, that's some
And
old school politicking. You just don't care. You're doing your thing with a mic. I love it.
yeah, and people are responding. They're making comments. They like it. Some people say, "Well, you're a little bit too, right for me," but I do love the fact that how you're fighting. So, and just other people saying, "I really support the president," and it's bringing out their support. So I think it's just a an amazing moment in history, which
Mandy,
shows that.
I just have to stop you for a second. We have 100
Sure.
people live watching your eyeball.
Oh, I'm sorry. I moved my
No, it's
fan.
okay. I'm just like, no, it's all right. I'm like, I just checked the numbers. There are 100 people staring you in the eye.
Sorry, I'm in the car and I'm not used
No,
to
it's okay.
doing
It,
things on my
people
phone.
are watching this, and that's why we're doing it. You guys are great.
Great.
So I didn't mean to
Great.
interrupt
Hello,
you. That was
everybody.
awesome.
Great to have you on.
I was cool with it. I
And
just thought this is great.
go ahead.
So
No, go ahead.
let's let me you're on your way there. Let's talk about Lauren really quick. So you're a very you're a very old school conservative. You are you have some moderate independent kind of views, but you're very you voted for Trump. You support Donald Trump strongly. What
Right.
connected you to Lauren where you could be like, okay, cool, like we could do this? I'm really interested because you guys started to collaborate. Not only you, but Elizabeth, everyone's collaborating. What made that happen for you?
Well, I think two things. One, which is that you, you know, I had to think hard about it, to be honest,
Sure.
to put Lauren second, because there are certain things we have our disagreements on. There are other things we agree on. And, and I think that given how bad Barbara Lee is, and Lauren he's a real human being. And and so it kind of just bonded through the process of the doing the different forums together, because I really didn't know him much before. I mean, I didn't have much interaction with him. And same with Elizabeth and the other candidates. And these are mainly Democrats, right?
Yeah.
And and we don't agree on a lot of issues. We really don't. But they're
He also probably won the election before.
Eh,
It's only the
Yeah,
ranking.
Gerald's just telling me something to add in, which I will do. Okay, but just working together, caring for Oakland and being able to honestly have our disagreements, but still work together and have discussion and dialogue. That's the key.
Yeah.
And Lauren actually won the election last time. He was leading, and then in this crazy ranked choice stuff, he lost by only 600 votes
Yeah.
in the
Wild.
last round of the ranked choice. So, you know, it's what you have to, what I've learned, let me put it this way, living in a city that is like Oakland is, and like my whole upbringing was, which is that you learn to work with people and work through the differences without compromising your principle.
Yeah, and I knew that's where you were going to go, and that's what I'm thinking is that people. It's easy to misjudge conservatives. It's easy to misjudge people that support Donald Trump, but the truth is, you're a very collaborative person. You're open minded. You really thought about supporting someone that's not completely politically aligned with you. Like that's the spirit of compromise, and I don't see that on the other side. I don't. It blows me away that they expect conservatives to collaborate and roll over, but on the other side, left wingers won't. Except in this case, obviously, Lauren is collaborating with you and accepting your support. That's important
Right.
for people to see. You guys
And
are
he was attacked for accepting my support.
100%.
Tyron went after him. Tyron Jordan said, "You should have denounced her support." Hmm?
You're the coolest person. Denounce. I mean, you're on the street corners talking about making Oakland better. He's not. Tyrone's not, and I'm not judging him. I'm just saying, hey, I mean, I saw it.
That's
I
right.
saw the attack. I saw everything. I saw everything. I don't know. People were wondering what I was gonna, how. I saw it all. I saw Barbara Lee got 25 grand from PG&E, which was like, what in the I mean, what? I mean, I saw Barbara, like basically not really trying to campaign. What? I saw you working really hard, Elizabeth working, and I'm not attacking Barbara. I'm just saying you guys clearly really worked hard. Everybody, not all of you for Lauren per se, but everybody worked hard to campaign, and that makes a difference. People don't realize that kind of synergy can win an election. It's that simple.
Yep, exactly. And I wanted people to realize that, conservatives, people like myself, like yourself, we're real human beings. And you can actually talk with us. You can disagree with us. You can do the same thing with Donald Trump. And just that we're human. And and hopefully in the process we'll win more people over to this real truth about what it is to be an American and what our country was founded on and the principles that it was founded on. So if I can accomplish that, that would be a great good. And I think this election process was a major step in that direction, and we're going to continue it. In
I
fact, I'm
agree.
I'm I'm headed over to Lauren is having an election eve party, and I want to stop in and say hello.
Good. All right. Well, Mandy, I'll let you go. You are such a gracious person to spend this time with us. We have like 120 people watching right now live
Right,
on X. It's crazy, not even counting Facebook and you have really been amazing with me and allowed me to interview you and really spent time with me and trusted me. You didn't know me, but you were really
right.
open to do that. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you giving us some results. This is really awesome stuff. And this is what people do, guys, when they campaign. This is the hard work. You don't see the behind the scenes like this, but bravo to you guys. Tell Lauren I said, hey, tell him, hey man, if you win, Jason wants that interview, baby. You owe me one. Tell him I
I'll
don't
tell
bite.
him.
I won't bite. I'm nice.
No, I'm going to tell him he's a great guy. Actually, you are, and you're
Okay.
so great to talk with. You actually make it very easy, so I love it. I'm looking forward to coming back on soon.
You
I
got it.
know
We'll
we have a
do it.
date.
Okay, tell Gerald I said, what's up? And you guys have a good one. Stay safe. Okay. And thank you for all your hard work.
Okay, great, and
All
talk
right.
soon. And thank you. Take
Take care.
care.
Be
Bye
safe.
bye.
Bye now.
We will. Take
All
care.
right. I'm going to Wow. Okay, that was so cool. Mindy is a really wonderful person, and um, I know a lot of people watch this. They're not conservatives. You guys have supported me. I'm a independent. I'm a libertarian. Says it on top of my bio. But I lean towards conservative values, fiscal conservatism. But I'm also practical, and I love the fact that Elizabeth Sweeney, who I interviewed earlier today, that's a separate show. Check it out on my feed, and also Mindy and others have joined forces. Like Mindy said, those are her words. They joined forces for Oakland. Guys, I cannot emphasize how important this election is for the future of Oakland to avoid bankruptcy, for example, to avoid more drug use and more crime. Like you got to avoid this stuff. Like you got to put a stop to it. Um, Other candidates that we haven't really talked about, Suze, for example, Suze Robinson, fantastic person with really amazing ideas. And then President Christina, who's wonderful. President Christina, I've interviewed her. She has fantastic outside the box ideas about policing and the homeless crisis and the drug crisis. Like I really, if you look, if you care about your city, Oakland, I really want you to watch my interviews. Just jump around, watch some of them because um, there are some really amazing ideas. I did long form interviews with most of the candidates. I'm sorry, let me reframe that. Most of my interviews were long form. Probably my shortest one was 35 minutes, and I got most of the candidates who were willing to do it. Not everyone wants to do a long form interview. It's not easy. It is not easy to get on and do a live. You can't edit it, right? Somebody does something wild, they say something wrong, you can't track it back. I mean, I could pull an interview, for example, but it's not easy. And I'm a stranger, and I want you to know that I met more candidates than most of you will meet, right? The voters. I met a number of them. Now, if you went to the forums, you met them, but I met them and I spent enough. But see, you might go to a forum and sit there, but most of you wouldn't have an opportunity to sit down and ask them questions like this. And I did. And so that's why I did it. So you guys could live vicariously through what we're doing. Like right now, talking to Mindy, that was awesome. She had the numbers. She had the count. She's like, this is where we're at. Lauren is looking good. He's winning at this point. Barbara Lee is behind. Now, yeah, Mindy shared her thoughts. She's very, very against Barbara Lee. And I can't disagree with that in a lot of ways. I mean, I didn't endorse anybody, and that's not my game. Just like having an interview and pitting people against each other, not my game. I don't like to bring a candidate on and talk about another candidate unless they want to. That's not my game. I don't like to do gotcha stuff. I don't like dig and find something. That's not my game. Other people, definitely are involved in that stuff as far as, kind of looking for the deep, dirty stuff, and that's actually important. That's part of politics. For you to complain about that, well, you're missing the point. The point is information. And I try to lean into like, hey, let's dig into like the thoughts of what the candidates want to do. Let's talk about that. But my point is the reason why I'm encouraging you to watch even the interviews after the election is if you voted for someone I interviewed and you're actually there to like, you can watch a long form interview, then you might really like, it might solidify your decision. Speaking of that, let me say a few more things and then I'm going to jump to, I have a poll on X. I put a poll up and people are responding to my poll, and it's interesting what my poll looks like is very similar to what Mindy was reporting. Now we also have, so let's gosh, I have so many things in my head. I also was trying to interview. I had another interview scheduled, and unfortunately, I don't know if we'll be able to do it. But I'll see what I can do. But if not, we'll catch we'll catch that candidate later, someone who I've not interviewed before. There's a city council race. There's Measure A. I didn't get a chance to talk to Mindy about that. And then obviously the mayor's race was just huge. It's nationwide news. They're talking about not just the two candidates. They were talking today in Politico, and as Mindy was saying, Washington Examiner, which is out of Washington, D.C., they were talking about other candidates, not just Lauren and Barbara. And mission accomplished. Bravo, guys. That well played, because if you're a candidate and you're not, a well-known candidate, you can be well-known. That's the secret. People don't realize the harder you work, the more you get your message out, the more you get eyeballs on what you're doing. You can win these things, man. And that's why we do what we do. I have over 20,000 followers on all of my social media. And I'm like, hey, let's use this for good. We could do silly stuff, but let's do that. Let's change the world, man. I'll go back to a thought. It's really critical that someone with a different opinion and point of view on Oakland corruption get in this office. Let me take a step back, though, and be very fair. Lauren Taylor, I don't know. I haven't interviewed him. So I haven't been able to really talk about him like I can talk about the other candidates. But the other candidates that I've interviewed have actually supporting him. The two of them, which we talked about, actually did videos, and they're doing events, and they're saying, hey, vote me one, vote him two. Now there's something called ranked choice voting. It's highly complicated, honestly. So essentially you've got all these candidates and you pick, okay, one, two, like you have your ranked choice, which is odd. It's just really confusing. And so it creates unpredictable results. And a lot of people in Oakland that are upset over what's been going on, they say that Shang Tao, who is looking at 95 years in the slam, they're saying that the only reason she got in was because ranked choice voting is kind of rigged and kind of unfair. But that being said, which is so cool, and I was noticing this. I was like, this is really cool. I'm checking I invited a few more folks on. By the way, anybody that comes on this podcast tonight, hats off to you. You're my hero. But what I thought was really cool is that the candidates started a lot of people complain about ranked choice voting, right? And the candidates would just cry about it. But instead of crying about it, these folks did something about it. They outsmarted it by collaborating, which is brilliant. It's brilliant. And that's the spirit that you want in Oakland. You want collaboration. Look, if you haven't seen a big change there, you're just not paying attention. There is a huge change going on. The fact that I have over two live streams, my views are in the hundreds watching live. And the fact that I did 2 live streams and you guys are watching and you're concerned, that just is a testament, not to me, but to you. And it means that you want a change because the corruption is legitimate. And the racism in the city government is astounding. And I don't like to talk about stuff like that because people tend to, it tends to go negative and it brings up terrible feelings. But look, we have to be honest. 2 people just resigned in City Hall because they were exposed for, well, maybe more than 2, but they're exposed for being like flat out racist, like in writing. What the hell? I'm like, oh my God. And the reason why I didn't talk about it is, I don't have all the time in the world to focus on everything, but some people are better at it than I am talking about those things. And that's their story. That's their facts to report. For me, I'm just trying to get the word out on the candidates so you can make choices that you're happy with. And that you go out and vote. I want you to vote. And that's why we do this. Now, we're coming on 40 minutes, so thanks for hanging in there, guys. I may do another couple 20 minutes or so. My name is Jason J. Daniel. If you don't know who I am, I'm a podcaster. I'm an ex-political activist, an entrepreneur. Um, and this podcast covers a lot of stuff. It's not just politics. We talk sports, true crime, human interest stuff. Today, I talked to Elizabeth Swaney, who was running for mayor in Oakland, about her athletic career and about her Olympic skiing in 2018. Awesome stuff. So I love sports. I'm an actor. We were talking comedy. There's a lot of cool. The world is fun. There's so many cool things. So if you after the election, um, I'm still going to be interviewing some candidates, some people. We're gonna maybe the next couple of weeks we're going to do some house cleaning. Now, as Mindy was saying, if you caught it earlier, and if you're joining, let me give you some info here. Let me jump to if you're joining. We had some live election results. Mindy was reporting that Lauren is up. I think after they've counted whatever they could count at this point, Lauren is up over Barbara Lee, which is a surprise. I will say this. That's great news for their campaign. That's something to celebrate because Barbara Lee is a juggernaut in the political world. I mean, she's won, 14 elections or some shit like that. She is an icon, a liberal icon. Like if you had a Mount Rushmore of liberal icons in the Bay Area, she'd be up there. Maybe even in California. She is the Honorable Barbara Lee is a former congresswoman, and she was very liberal, left wing. At certain times, the most liberal person in Congress, like going by the votes and stuff. She decided she lost her last election to stay, right? It in national politics, got ousted, got beat pretty handily, and so she decided, hey, let's run for mayor. And I don't think she expected the juggernaut, which is like everybody else. It's crazy. She Everybody just joined forces, right? So you've got Mindy, Elizabeth, Peter, who I didn't get a chance. Who else joined forces against the Barbara Lee juggernaut? And then some of the activists that were awesome, that worked really hard, and a lot of you. What was crazy is, and these are all my thoughts. I finally get a chance to tell you what I was thinking. So here you go. What was crazy is I'm seeing more and more people like creating accounts, right, as they're getting into their life and just roasting each other. And then I start getting blocked by people. I don't even know who these people are. I'm like, why am I getting blocked, man? I haven't said anything. I mean, I've been honest about some stuff. I'm saying like, hey, look, you like Barbara Lee, you're looking at parking tickets all day long, graffiti fines. I mean, it's pretty easy to see that she's going to do some old school tax stuff on you. Basically, aggressively collecting fines and fees and graffiti fees and stuff. That's regressive taxation. It's a form of taxation because who's going to pay it? The people. Rarely are you going to be able to get citizens to pay those things. I'm sorry, visitors. You're getting that money from the citizens, and there's nobody to tax anymore. Like crazy stuff. And then you got Measure A, which is like raising a couple of cents. Really? I mean, look, if you're going to raise a 2-cent tax, you might as well go $2. Why don't you go big, right? You don't go big because people won't vote for big. They vote for small, out of sight, out of mind. You still make a killing. Where's that money go? That's just not how you're going to get it done. You're going to need to bring in more stuff, more money. Now, we'll talk about the results of the election. Clearly, whether Barbara wins, Lauren wins, Tyrone Jordan, we're hearing, is third place at this point. And then Mindy's 4. So, hey, you can't count out 1 through 4. It's still wide open. Now, obviously the good money is on Barbara or Lauren. The Lauren team feels good tonight. So whoever wins, we'll try to get them on because I think this is a really great forum. And hopefully people can see that I'm not trying to do aggressive politics. I'm just trying to meet these candidates that affect your lives. That's why we're doing it. Okay. I'm just rattling off. Let's see here. Let me jump to, I was going to show you something. Okay. So let me go to, I took a poll. I put a poll on X, which is dope. Maybe it's dope because it's my poll, but, but let's go to it. So I'm sharing my screen right now. Okay, cool. Oh, hold on. Presentation. Okay. So let me take this off. So here's my poll that I took. Let me jump to it here. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this is my account. You might you might be wondering, why do I call myself His Grace the Goat Targaryen? No one asks me why. Some people have asked me. If you know Game of Thrones, a Targaryen is got white hair. Okay, like me, and they're crazy. Okay, they're very stubborn. So I'm kind of like a Targaryen, and GOAT stands for greatest of all time. So that my nickname has become GOAT, the GOAT Targaryen. Okay, there you go. That's bonus for those that are watching. That's bonus points for you. Okay, so here's my my poll. Now I can only put 4 people up at a time for my poll. So that's why I need to take off this. So, and then let's take off this. Okay. Cool. Perfect. So here's my, I had to kind of link the chain, but here's, we'll start with city council. Okay. So city council 2, district 2, didn't have anybody vote on these candidates or confirm on my anonymous poll. There's no way I can track this, by the way, so you can vote anonymously. We do have one vote. One person voted saying they voted for Cara Murray. Okay, there you go. So when it comes to mayor, okay, here we go. This is interesting. We have 4 votes. Peter Liu's got some votes. Now you can't vote more than once, so these are actually people. Then you've got President Christina got a vote on my poll. Barbara Lee got 25%. Lauren got 75%. These results are kind of what Mindy was telling us. Not this big of a gap between Lauren and Barbara, but still, she was saying Barbara's behind. And then we also had one person that undervoted. And I thought that was interesting. What is an undervote, you might ask, if you don't know? If you don't go to vote, that's just called being a non-voter or not voting. But if you actually go to the polls, now I use the term undervoter, may not really count here, but this is what this means. If you go to the polls and you vote for one thing and not everything down the ballot, that's called undervoting. So that means you showed up, but you just didn't care enough to vote for everything. You voted for whatever you were the most interested in. But what that does is it essentially, undervoting almost counts like 2 votes for somebody you would have voted against, because you're not voting, if that makes sense, right? Because votes cancel out votes. So if you're not making yourself present, then you're essentially, not only are you not voting, but somebody who voted for the candidate you didn't vote for, or the measure you didn't vote for, or wouldn't have voted for, their vote's not canceled out. Does that make sense? It's odd math. But so my point is, being an undervoter is kind of like a bad thing. Don't undervote. Show up and vote. And even if you don't know the candidates, make a choice that's educated. Like, if, in a lot of these local elections, not everybody knows who people are. That's why I do what I do. So that, let's say you watch 2 of my interviews. You only watched 2 and I did 4 or 5. I think I did 4 of all of the candidates. If you've watched 2 of my interviews, you've been educated on who those folks are. Then if you go, you don't have an excuse to not vote for somebody. Vote for, you have information. So you should make yourself vote. Voting is important. Now, some people would disagree with that. They'd say, well, if you're a liberal, stay home. If you're a conservative, stay home. That's bad. That's not good for democracy. Everyone should vote. If they are eligible to vote, vote. Okay, there you go. So there you go. Let's see. What else can I share with you tonight that would be interesting? Let me do, I'm going to do, let's see what the local news is saying, if they have anything to say. Let's see, 3 hours ago, 1 hour ago, Chronicle. Okay, Chronicle. Let me screen share this one. This is an interesting news article, and I'm going to end with this. Okay, share. Let's see here. Oh, hopefully I can read part of it. Okay, cool. Oakland mayor election. Lauren Taylor takes narrow lead over Barbara Lee. Interesting. Hopefully there's not a paywall on this. Right on. Okay, cool. Former Oakland Council member Lauren Taylor took a slim lead early Tuesday night with just over 51% of the vote in a nail-biting mayor's race. That's kind of written odd. So does that mean 51% has been counted that came in, or 51% of eligible votes came back? Odd. Taylor, who calls himself a pragmatic progressive, but has leaned more moderate, interesting, took the lead against former Congresswoman Barbara Lee, a well-known progressive, liberal icon. Lee has just under 49% of the vote. So they're giving, now earlier what I was retweeting was, I think, a 4% Lauren lead. Now they're giving him 2%. Honestly, it's still anybody's race, margin of error, honestly. Now, ranked choice voting makes a difference, but there you go. The results include ranked choice voting tabulations. That's what I was saying. 9 candidates are running to be the city's next mayor, though Taylor and Lee were the front runners by a wide margin. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, but they were the front runners. Let's see here. Sales tax measure passes. Okay, we haven't talked about this yet. All right. Okay, 60%. Let me close this here because it's trying to line me up. Oh, is it going to stop me? Okay, I guess it's going to stop me because I don't have the pay. I don't have the subscription. There you go. Looks like Measure A passed. So you're getting taxed. Awesome. 60%, that is wild. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't vote for it. I think that's crazy, but it's all good. It's your money. Whatever. I just don't think any more taxation in the mess that Oakland's in is going to help. I think you have to raise money. The truth is, Oakland's got some big problems that have to be overcome. Choices need to be made before you can get outside funding, especially from the Fed, which is ultimately where the money's going to come from. You tell me. I mean, Gavin Newsom is asking for what, $3 billion? The news today, $3 billion for Medicaid. That's the fancy term for Medi-Cal. $3 billion. He needs a loan from the Fed. So California is asking for their own loans. You think Oakland's going to get money from the state that's substantial to get them out of their hole, which is like, what, 90 million and could be 150 next year? I mean, the numbers vary. And even bankruptcy, that's not going to make everything go away. That's going to be super problematic, which is where the city's heading unless somebody can make a change. Now, the mayor is, here's another thing you need to know about the mayor. The mayor is, the office is kind of a ceremonial role. The mayor does have an emergency power to push some agendas, but a lot of the power rests with the city council. People miss that. But the mayor, if the mayor is popular enough and the mayor can, shake enough hands and make enough solid connections, the mayor can get some stuff done. I guess I'll say this: if the Oakland mayor position was not a powerful position, there's no way in hell Barbara Lee would want it. Keep that in mind. That shows you something. Who goes for the prize shows you a lot about how much that prize is really worth. I don't think Barbara Lee's just, I want to be the mayor just to do it. No, someone like her, that does not work for her. She knows what she's doing. Now, she could have miscalculated, and if she loses, she did. But at this point, it's not a miscalculation because it's a tight race. We could be looking at Mayor Barbara Lee in a couple of weeks. The way the votes are counted is really weird. The votes only are tabulated every Friday. It's wild. So, and as Mindy was saying, there's going to be votes that are going to come in like a week or two after that are postmarked. It's going to take some time. The last mayor election was like the vote difference was like 677 or something, under 700 votes. And that got you a really corrupt cap. Shen-Tao, your ex-mayor, Oakland, she's looking at 95 in the slammy. And I don't like that math if I be her. They're going to want some blood. The feds do not spend time on you. they don't they don't lose much. So that's a whole nother mess, and we'll cover that when the trial happens. That'll be fun as hell. I expect her to plea out, but that's not the point. Um, I expect her to plea out. I just don't see how you'd gamble that, right? Roll the dice on 95, and if they give you a plea that's like 10 to 15, which that's terrible, but I mean, look, you're in this mess. But look, innocent until proven guilty. But back to Barbara. People are motivated to beat her, and I think that probably was something she misunderstood. Is that, like Mindy was talking about, we had her on. She's very vocal about. She says, "I don't want Barbara Lee to win at all costs." Like she's extremely motivated, and there are many people like her who, at all costs, Barbara Lee, they don't want her to win. They are that terrified. Now, I'm not saying Mindy is, but there are people terrified of what will happen if she'll win. And then there are people that will take, action to definitely campaign against her if she wins. Like Mindy was saying, expect a recall. Hey, that's the way it works. It's California. And the stuff that Barbara was saying about recalls are undemocratic, that's just bullshit. There's nothing more democratic than a good old fashioned hot and sweaty recall. Nothing more exciting than getting out there and recalling bad people. You need that. Look, in the big Fed world, they call it impeaching. That's something that happens. Like California has a recall system now. Gavin's looking at another one. It's like his third or something. So the state does it, and everybody calls California crazy, but there's a reason why there's a mechanism for recall, because people need to be able to change their choice if they so choose. And it's not easy to pull that off. It's not. So it's much easier to just win an election outright. It's much easier. And they're doing their best. It's a pretty incredible moment in Oakland's history. It really is. I'm not trying to overemphasize it just because I'm online and talking about it. It's a pretty serious thing. I've lived a little. I know Barbara Lee's history. So when Mindy says, "Hey, Barbara Lee cannot win at all costs," I understand where she's coming from, because most people see Barbara Lee's record as a record that's pretty miserable, and that she's not what Oakland needs to change. But we'll get into that. There isn't any point to talk about the good or the bad with either Lauren or Barbara Lee until somebody is crowned mayor. And that may happen sooner than later. They may not need the 4 weeks or 5 weeks or whatever. There's a certain math to it. If you're not aware of how this works, there's all these everyone's registered to vote, right? Okay, so you got that number. Then they break down that number of ballots that were mailed out, and then they have a percentage. There's a math to it of a projection of who usually votes and who doesn't. They keep track, by the way. So the voter registrar can go back and go, okay, Jason voted these elections. He votes presidential. He doesn't vote midterms. He always votes local, that kind of thing. So that information is given to campaigns. Campaigns can purchase that. That's how they know how to campaign to you. That's why you get 75 flyers, because you're a voter. People that aren't voting don't usually get those flyers because, time is money, and money is important in getting the message out. So they usually would target the people that are likely voters. So you've seen that, right? The likely voter. So they take that number and they go, okay, cool. Here's the likely voter. Here's the amount of ballots we think are going to come in. Then the mail-in ballots come in, and they subtract that from people who haven't voted yet, right? So that number gets whittled down, and then they start counting the ballots, and then they go, okay, wow, this many have come in, and then they have the projected math of what could come in, right? Obviously, what's projected can't go beyond the voter rolls. So as that number decreases, as the votes counted, there's a point of critical mass where you go, oh, this person's behind by so much, and there's not enough votes, so it's over, and they'll stop count. Now they will always count, but they can declare a winner, and then they have to finish the count, and then it's an official certification. Now, there are, like Mindy mentioned, if you saw, she was reading a letter where it talked about how the count should work. There is an automatic recall mechanism that's triggered if the vote's really close. And then that means, okay, there's like 30 days or something for those to be hand counted and make sure, you know how that goes, right? And just they disqualify or make, so they'll only recount the difference. And in some cases, they'll recount like districts or like sections of the town, or they'll figure out where they need to do it. I'm sure there's a certain they take Seneca and others that are really good at this would know the answer to this, but they take a percentage and go, okay, in the recount, we're going to recount a certain percentage just to make sure you got the numbers right. It's all math. So in some cases, stretching it out, people feel that's good. In some cases, people think that's bad. So we'll see. It's not over until it's over. If someone loses by a slim margin, this could be interesting. And that's why we do what we do. So that's all I really have, guys. Man, it's late. It's almost 10. I was going to stop at 10 tonight. They're not counting anymore. The count is done. Everybody left, as Mindy said. And so now we might get a little update tomorrow. We'll see. Stay tuned to my Twitter account or my X account. And I'll wrap this up, but please follow me. X, Snap, hit that follow button. IG, follow me on IG. I don't do politics on IG, but you can follow me there. Rumble, YouTube, Jason J. Daniel. I'm everywhere at Jason J. Daniel. Some of my handles are like the or real Jason J. Daniel. Like TikTok, I think is real Jason J. Daniel. I got 7,000 followers on TikTok. We do sports. WNBA is coming up. I love me some WNBA. So I'm working on some special guests for that, guys. You don't doubt me, baby. Don't doubt me. I'm working on some fun guests. So yeah, follow me. And this is what I'll say. I'm signing off for election coverage right now, guys. The next time I do an Oakland election podcast will be probably breaking news results. If there's anything breaking, we'll talk about it. We'll go live. But I want to say this to you guys. Thank you. Thank you. What can I say, man? I just started interviewing the candidates and you guys have really embraced that. And the candidates have embraced me that I've interviewed. And it's just been it's just encouraged me in the process. And we all live for this, right? It's important. So thank you. Thank you for following me. Thank you for blocking me. If you if you didn't like, some of you guys blocked me. I'm like, what? I haven't done anything wrong to you, baby. So sometimes I'll find out I'm blocked by some Oakland person. I'm like, what did I say? But thanks for, and also if you appreciate what I do, a like and a retweet is awesome. That's the biggest gift. It tells the algorithm that what you're seeing is important and that it should share it to others. So thank you. If you have ideas for interviews in your city, if you're not in Oakland, a lot of people are watching this out of Oakland. Let me know. Obviously, we can do this anywhere. I can talk to anybody at any time that has a computer. So let me know. Look for interviews that are going to go outside the box. I do like to do politics, but I also am looking to do some sports and some interesting people stuff, human stuff. So that being said, I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. And I'll see you on the flip side. And good luck, Oakland. I'm proud of you guys, man. Super proud. And we're signing off. Have a great one. Thanks so much.